Shy773. Thank you so much for checking out my video. For those viewing my video for the first time, I just want to say welcome in. Thanks so much for checking me out. If you could like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, I would truly appreciate it. For those that have been here the whole time and all of my brand new subscribers, I just want to say thank you so much for your subscriptions, for your likes, for your comments. They truly go a long way. I know it's been a minute. I kind of stepped away for a little bit. Had a few things going on personal wise, but never stopped the purchasing. So wanted to kind of tell you all about all of the fragrances that I've purchased over the last few months, that I've kind of been away and just kind of really enjoying my fragrances, enjoying life, just everything in general. So I'm kind of doing this in a part series because I've probably purchased I want to say somewhere around 40 plus fragrances overall. Yes, I still have a problem like we all do, but you know, who knows if it's a good problem or a bad problem, but I just love and enjoy fragrances in general. So I want to talk about some of these fragrances that I've purchased. They've been brand new. So first off, let's talk about the first brand, and that's going to be MindGames. So MindGames came out, I would say maybe like a month or two ago, with a new spread of fragrances that they had that included so many really good fragrances and revamps of other fragrances that I felt were from their initial fragrances that they came out with. But I bought two from the old fragrances, and then I bought two from the new. So I want to first talk about one of the fragrances now, and this one is going to be Grandmaster. So Grandmaster is a beautiful fragrance. This fragrance is kind of like it's supposed to be a rose coffee based fragrance. I do have the notes for this one. It says black currant, rose water, and Pivoine, I believe it says. Then there's rose Centofolia. There's Kona coffee, wild violet, and then in the Drydown you're gonna get Myrrh, Incense, Ebony wood, and Panettone. So what does that smell like? What do those notes even really mean? I'm gonna give this a spray so you can see how well the sprayer is. It's a very nice spray. At the top, it's very dusty. It's kind of like a dusty, soft rose, I'm assuming from that rose water. And as the fragrance starts to pick up, you get a little bit of spice and the coffee kicks in. That rose takes a little back seat. I think that ebony wood starts to pop in as well. So it's kind of peppery, woody. It's sweet, not overly sweet, but I'm getting like a really strong, like very peppery vibe. But I really do love this fragrance on skin. On skin, I don't get that peppery vibe. So I've had an opportunity to wear this many different times. This is a very strong fragrance. It's an extrait de parfum. Lasts all throughout my work day. I get 10 plus hours. It's not a beast or a monster, but as far as the projection, but I know the sillage is great. I've had people stop me in the office and tell me, man, what are you wearing? That smells really good. I've had a lot of women stop me and say they want to buy this for their man. This is the fragrance that I was wearing. So this one is Grandmaster. And another thing with it, I want you to pay attention to the way that the tops look on this one because they're going to differ in the newer ones. So this fragrance is from the older brand. The next fragrance that I want to talk about is going to be from the newer ones. So check out the top. As you see from the newer ones, they look a lot different. I think the top is a little bit sturdier as well. So if I did that with the older one, it feels very flimsy. Still stays on, but this one I think is made a little bit better. So as you take the top off, French Defense is absolutely amazing. This is a cherry, violet leaf, and chamomile fragrance that has mid notes of geranium, Madagascar. It also has rose absolute, mimosa, and then in the Drydown there's amber, cedarwood, and blonde wood. This fragrance to me is one of the better ones from the newer line. I think this is what made me gravitate to actually purchase this when I went to go and look at this fragrance. But I'm gonna spray this as well. The sprayer is the same, but this is magical. It's sweet and juicy with the cherry up top. It's so good. It's just the sweetness of the cherry, the I don't know if it's the rose that's coming in with the mimosa, but there's a sparkliness to the fragrance. There is another piece that makes it a little bit sweeter, but not overly sweet. This smells so luxurious on. The nice part about this fragrance that I like is that it's not linear at all. It kind of moves a little bit back and forth with the sweetness. So you'll get that cherry. It'll play a role constantly in this fragrance at the top, and then the cherry note will kind of go away. And then you'll start to get a bit more of the rose. You'll get a bit more of that sparkliness. The amber kind of really juices it up a bit. Then you'll get a lot of the woodiness in the Drydown. I know that there's no like vanilla in here that it shows, but I also kind of get a little bit of a vanilla vibe. I'm not sure if that's the case or not, but on skin, this one can't be beat. I really enjoy this fragrance overall. Again, this one is French Defense. The next fragrance that I want to talk about is one of my favorites. I know that the Aventus vibe is kind of one of those things that people always try to get, or they have something that they kind of mesh with, like that Aventus-y vibe. This fragrance kind of has that in it, and this one is Blockade. So Blockade is one of my favorites from the line because it has a bit of this, it's almost like a mango based Aventus instead of having the pineapple that's in there. So this fragrance includes mango skin, pink pepper, tomato leaf, bergamot, and in the top, and then in the mid you're going to get lavender, mango flower, watery, what is this, cyclamen, and then star anise, and then finally in the Drydown you're going to get oud. There's Ambrostar, which I'm sure is some sort of amber, patchouli, and then there's Cuir Velours. I don't know what that is, but I'll probably end up looking that up a little bit later. But this fragrance to me is one of my favorites from the line. It's so sexy. It is mango dominant. Then you get this beautiful, it's kind of a crispiness. I don't know if it's the tomato leaf or the pink pepper that gives it the sparkliness. It almost smells like there may be a little bit of ginger in there, but it's not. But what a gorgeous fragrance. This one, like I said, is an extrait. This one is beautiful. Definitely want to try these before buying them. They're ultra expensive. This, I think the newer line is $375, and then the older line, which is Blockade, this one was like $345. So they went up a little bit on price, not overly too much, but for 100 ml for an extrait that is just gorgeous, I think is definitely worth the money in my opinion. But you know, I'm not your accountant, so I can't go back and tell you how to spend your money. Shout out to Equality Fragrance, that's his line. But yeah, this is very nice. Again, this one is Blockade. And the last one from this particular line that I'm going to talk about is Queening. So Queening really caught my nose right away because it was just very sweet, very clean, very nice. This one has notes of clean cotton accord, cypress, and apple. Then you're gonna get orris, rum, and saffron with whipped vanilla bean, fluffy musk, and coconut. This fragrance is a gourmand lover's dream. I think this just smells so sweet and edible. The way that the apple mixes with this fragrance and just the orris and the whipped vanilla bean, I get a lot of vanilla and apple, and it's just perfectly mixed together. I don't get a lot of the coconut that's in here, but what a gorgeous fragrance overall. Definitely worth checking out. I think it's also very unisex. I feel like all four of the fragrances that I spoke about are very unisex, so these are perfect to try before buying. I know that they have the sets that are, I think for the newer sets, they are in the 500 range. The older sets are in the 400 range, but that's for the 10 mils. I'm sure you can get 2 mils a lot cheaper. If I'm not mistaken, too, Max Aroma sells them. Joma Shop sells them. There are a lot of different houses out there that definitely sell these for the 2 mils. So you can go and check some of those out. But I got these off of Max Aroma myself. But again, this one is Queening. The next fragrances that I want to talk about are from CityRhythm. So I got an opportunity to be on a live with Lulu, and they were talking to Niles at one point, and I found out who Niles was through Lulu, so shout out to her and her channel. But 2 of his fragrances that I purchased were absolutely stunning to me, and I'm definitely going to dive more into this house. But I purchased 2 fragrances, and one of them is 2654. This fragrance is supposed to be a mixture of 2 of his other fragrances together, which is Miami and San Diego. But the notes for this fragrance include coconut, blood orange, lime, juniper berry, heliotrope, sea salt, sugarcane, almond, Moroccan jasmine, nutmeg, osmanthus, rum, ambergris, tonka bean, beechwood, and vanilla. So this fragrance is just so good to me. I like the way that it comes out on skin. So I'm gonna spray this. As you see, it's a really good sprayer. Like I said, I love the way that the bottle is as well. It's really nice, very hefty, but this fragrance smells so beautiful. It's light and strong all at the same time. You get wafts of this in the air. It has like a sweetness. There's like a, how do I put this? There's a smoothness to this fragrance that overall makes it very appealing. It smells like if you had warm sheets that were sprayed with fragrances all over it, and you go to lay on those sheets. It's smooth, seductive. It just smells very silky to me. Overall, this one is amazing. Smells good on skin. Lasts me about 10 to 12 hours easily. The sillage is very great on this fragrance, and I am very happy that I found this house and I'm able to purchase more from this house. Right now, because of the Black Friday sales, I believe that there's like a 10% off. So I think this bottle was $177 or something like that. So any percentage off is nice enough, but this is a very beautiful house. This one is the 100 ml. I believe they also sell this one in 50 ml as well. So again, this one is $26.54. And the other fragrance that I purchased was ridiculous. The second that I put it on, my wife was like, "What the hell are you wearing? Because that smells good." And she was trying to like attack me. I'm like, "Lady, get off me. Hold on. I'm just trying to review the fragrance. I'm trying to spray it, see what it smells like. You know, calm down for a second." But I love wearing this fragrance because it makes her go crazy. So fellas, if you want something that's gonna make your lady go crazy, you gotta check this one out. This one is the Miami Tropical Confessions. This fragrance is so juicy. It has notes of coconut milk, hibiscus nectar, Tahitian lime, jasmine, white rum, magnolia, vanilla orchid, tonka bean, myrrh, and sandalwood. So this one is just, like I said, this one is out of this world good. Up top, you're going to get, it's like this juicy sweetness. It just reminds me of Miami. So when I visited Miami, it's just hot, it's sexy, it's seductive. That's what this fragrance gives me in a bottle. You get that tropical fruit up top, and as the fragrance starts to go on, it changes. So this is definitely not a linear fragrance. This one kind of goes up and down. You get the sweetness, you get the tropical fruits, you get the coconut in this, you get a little bit of a booziness. This one is nice, and then as it dries down and gets down to the bottom of it, you get the vanilla in here, the tonka, the sandalwood makes this one super creamy. Overall, this one is one of my favorites. You should check this one out. I would get a sample of these from the site. Again, these are both extracts. So both of these are extract. Yep, they're extrait de parfums. Definitely worth checking these out. This one again is Miami Confessions. The next two fragrances that I want to talk about are from a house that I had never heard of before. I was checking out some of the YouTube, like the quick 1-minute videos. So I was checking out some of those reels, and I came across Cuba Nose, and he was talking about this fragrance house. So this fragrance house that I'm talking about is called CopperStill. And CopperStill is, they basically make bourbons, and I love bourbons. big into them, but they made 2 different fragrances that I wanted to check out. So the first one is called Pivoine, and this is in a 50 ml bottle. Let me just make sure it kind of clears up a bit. This one is in a 50 ml bottle. The notes for this one is Kentucky bourbon with notes of honey, plum, distiller spices, corn mash, tobacco, vanilla, oak, maple, and toffee. Sounds beautiful. So I was like, okay, let's check this one out. So I'm gonna open this, and this is on here pretty tight, so you can actually hold this from here, but this one is beautiful. I can smell it even without spraying it, but I'm gonna go ahead and spray it for you guys. So sprayer is nice, and this one straight out the bottle smells like booze. If you don't want to go to work and get in trouble for them thinking that you've been drinking on the job, do not wear this one to work, because you will get in trouble. This one comes out so smooth with that basically it smells like a bourbon with a little bit of honey. You can smell the spices in this. If you had your bourbon sitting neat in a glass and it was just wafting, this is what this smells like. Absolutely gorgeous. I love the way that this smells. The vanilla, the tobacco. You can smell all of that in this fragrance. It lasts at least about 10 hours. I believe these are also extracts as well, which makes these really nice. And I think that it's around like the 150-ish mark for a 50 ml. So definitely worth the money, or worth testing out too. Again, this one is Pivoine from CopperStill. The next one that I want to talk about from CopperStill is the Watermelon Shine. So Watermelon Shine is this beautiful, sweet, kind of whiskey-ish vibe as well. I forgot to take the little plastic off the top of the bottle itself, but this one is also 50 ml. This is a sticker that stays on, but it's kind of like a harder sticker, which is nice. Again, this one comes out like this as well. The cap is not nearly as good as the cap from the Pivoine fragrance. This one feels a little bit more hollow. This one is just like a regular kind of stock cap. But let's go ahead and smell the juice, because that's what we want. We want to know what that juice smells like. And smells like a watermelon pucker. I'm gonna be honest with you, this one is so nice. It even has like a little bit of, so if you put a Jolly Rancher, a watermelon Jolly Rancher in a watermelon pucker, that's what this smells like. It's boozy, it's sweet. That watermelon really comes out. This is so beautiful. I think this is very unisex. I know I've worn this one before at work and I had heads turning. This one is so good. Very beautiful for spring and summertime. I think because of it being an extrait, it can last in the winter time. So I'm gonna have to test it now to see how it works for me, especially being in Illinois. So you know, the weather's always kind of changing back and forth, and it's snowing for us now. So overall, this one is so beautiful. It's hard to take my nose off of both of these, but again, this one is Watermelon Shine. The next fragrances are from Argos. So I've had an opportunity to purchase multiple fragrances from Argos, and I'm telling you right now, Argos is where it's at. Argos has some of the most beautiful packaging. They come with different treats, like for instance, I purchased a couple of fragrances and I got an atomizer along with a bag. I got like a bag full of goodies. So it came with this bag, came with a full plethora of different samples left and right. He spares no expense. The perfumer Christian and owner spares no expense at all. And I think for the price point, this is just perfect. So the first fragrance that I'm going to talk about is going to be Fall of Phaeton. So look at that beautiful artwork. This bottle and design is just unmatched. This is just beautiful to me. The fragrance itself is so gorgeous. I've worn this multiple times. Has a little bit of reminiscence to Danae to me a little bit, but it stands on its own 2 feet. So this fragrance includes bergamot, lemon, and pink peppercorn up top, along with cardamom, ginger, lavender, and arga wood. Then you're getting musk, leather, tonka bean, and vanilla. This fragrance is just unreal. It has this sweet yet very classy type of sweetness. That bergamot mixture with the it's probably bergamot, the tonka bean, and cardamom hitting together on this one, but it is so sophisticated and classy. I can only imagine myself being dressed up a bit when wearing this fragrance, even though I wear it dressed down because I like to catch people off guard. You never know when somebody's just wearing like sweatpants and different things like that, or just like some shorts or something. You never expect them to wear something like this, but this is class in a bottle. Hands down, one of my favorite fragrances. So happy for the purchase. Again, this one, like I said, is sweet, it's dry, it's sexy, super sensual. Again, this one is Fall of Phaeton. The next fragrance that I'm going to talk about is a very strong and hefty fragrance. This one is Nan Lion. So Nan Lion is one of my favorites from the line. There is a pungent skankiness to this fragrance that is, it makes me continuously go back and forth to it. So this one isn't for the faint of heart. This one is very strong. It is very sweet. It is very pungent up top. If you're not into animalic fragrances at all, this is not going to be the fragrance for you. This is for those niche heads that love the smell of something overly pungent. This fragrance has the notes of dry oak moss. It has Scottish pine. It also has citrus and labdanum up top. Then it has clary sage, peppery, coriander, and jasmine, along with pink peppercorn and juniper berries. And then finally, you're going to get amber, mysore, sandalwood, leather, and musk. And I think the musk and leather gives it this overly pungent, punch you in the face type of smell. But I can't stop smelling this fragrance. It took me a little while to kind of really wrap my head around it because I was talking to I was talking to my buddy Cordell. If you don't know him, he's in the fragrance groups for one of the other brands that I absolutely love getting fragrances from, and that's Dapper Fragrances. But he and I were talking about this fragrance, and we were going back and forth trying to figure out what were we smelling. Did we love this? Did we like it? At first, it was like I don't know. And then all of a sudden it just hit. It's like, this is so sexy. This is very, very strong. If you don't have a strong personality, if you don't project yourself, this is not going to be the fragrance for you. It's sweet, pungent, leathery, just absolutely sexy fragrance. This one again, Nan Lion, please check it out. Do not blind buy this fragrance. Although this sold out in the 100 mils right away, I know that it's being made. He's making more as well. I think some 30 mils are out there as well, but do not blind buy that fragrance. It is very, very strong. But again, that was Nan Lion. And then finally, we're going to talk about Love Triumphs Over War. So this fragrance, once I smelled it, I was like, wow. Because there is a musky sweetness to this fragrance. It's like, it almost has like this lipsticky vibe. It's and I know there's iris in here for sure because of that. It's very iris and musk and kind of sweet heavy, but it jumps back and forth. So the notes in this includes bright bergamot, orange, lemon, sweet tuberose, rose petals, raspberry, black currant. There's also violet, clove, cinnamon bark, geranium, gardenia. There's also iris and ylang ylang. And then there's amber, white musk, cashmere wood, Mysore, sandalwood, patchouli, and then vanilla in this fragrance. So what this fragrance seems to do is it's constantly fighting back and forth between the sweets and the florals and the stronger notes that are in here. So the cinnamon bark, the geranium, the ylang ylang is constantly fighting to see which one is going to control. So when I've worn this, it's actually smelled different multiple times. One time I will get a very musky rose that I'm getting for a good amount of time, and then it goes and it fights constantly. So you'll get like the juicy rose, then it'll go into the bergamot, you'll get the sweetness, the tuberose, the ylang ylang, the iris will come out. Then you'll get hints of vanilla, then the woods. It's constantly changing, and this fragrance is so incredible. What I have done before is I've actually mixed this one with the Nan Lion, and what a crazy mixture that was. It was very sweet, pungent, very strong. Because these fragrances are extracts anyways, these are super strong. He also has a couple of other fragrances as well. One other one that I'm going to talk about a little bit later, not in this video, but I'm going to go ahead and cut this one short because we're actually a little bit far over what I said I wanted to get to. So look for part 2. Again, thank you so much for checking out my video. I appreciate you. Have a blessed day and take care.